Ayan, so hello grade 8, welcome to week number 5. So today we're diving into the basics of typhoon, okay, and the factors that affect their formation. So I am Sir Wawi, your ever curious science buddy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe para lagi kayong updated sa mga susunod pa nating science videos. Alright, let's begin. So like what I've said, okay, ito po yung ating topic, basics of typhoon. I-discuss natin dito yung mga factors that affects the typhoon formation. Ano ba yung mga factors na nakakahadlang or nakakaapekto, okay, para mabuo or lumakas yung isang bagyo. And while discussing this topic, we will also discuss in a thorough manner the different parts of typhoon. Hopefully, you are already um, familiar with the different conditions, okay, in the typhoon formation. Like for example, is it necessary for warm water or kailangan ba ang warm water sa typhoon formation? Okay, yun yung mga na-discuss natin in week number 4. Okay, so are you ready? So, sige, start na tayo. So, for the learning competency, describe the nature and characteristics of the typhoon. Okay, explain the impact of land masses and bodies of water on typhoons. So, ito yung pinaka-focus natin. We will try to explain the effect of land masses. Okay, pag sinabi nating mga land masses, yung mga land or islands, mga pulo-pulo, may epekto kaya yun, okay, sa nagiging lakas or lakas at bilis ng isang bagyo. Okay, at ano naman po ang epekto ng mga bodies of water or yung dagat, okay, or water itself in typhoon. Okay, next. So for the objectives, okay, define and differentiate typhoons, hurricanes, and cyclones. Explain how typhoon develops. We already discussed this. Okay, label the parts of typhoon. Yon yung ating isa sa mga focus din ngayon. Explain the role of each part of the typhoon. Identify the different categories of a tropical cyclones. Papahawyawan natin ngayon. Makita din natin yung mga categories of a tropical cyclones. Next, determine the effects of tropical cyclones. Okay, discuss the reasons why the Philippines is prone to tropical cyclones. And then, for number 8, investigate the impact of land masses and bodies of water on typhoons. And then, number 9, evaluate how geographic features lessen or worsen the impact of typhoons. Okay, yun yung pinaka-focus natin ngayon. Ano? So, sige. So, meron lang mga video na naka-attach dun sa description ng video. Advice ko lang, panoorin muna natin yun kasi isa yun sa mga kailangan natin dito sa ating discussion. Okay? Ayan, so review muna tayo. Okay, it's like may jumbled letters, and then you will try to arrange, okay, these letters to come up, okay, into a specific science term. Okay, so ano kaya ito mga anak? What do you think? It's, ayan, weather. What about this one? Correct. It's climate. Okay, so are you familiar with these words? Okay, familiar na ba kayo weather and climate? Sort of narinig nyo ba yung dalawang word na yan? Okay, so pwede ba natin silang gamitin interchangeably or do you think that they are different? Okay, correct. They are different. Ano? So, what is a weather? So, pag sinabi nating weather, it refers to a short-term atmospheric conditions in a specific time and place. Like, for example, today's temperature and precipitation. So, pag sinabi naman nating climate, it refers to the long-term average of weather patterns over a long period. So, pag weather short-term, pag climate, long period. Pero let's try to explain this to ano. Pag sinabi natin mga anak na weather is the day-to-day condition. Yun yung nararanasan araw-araw natin of the atmospheric in a specific place. So this means that weather can change very quickly. Pwede yung magbago very quickly. Short term eh. Okay, pwedeng maaraw ngayon, tapos after 1 hour, biglang uulan. Like what is happening right now. Minsan, aaraw, uulan. Okay, it's a weather pattern, ano? Okay, and then weather includes also temperature. Kasama dyan, humidity, wind, and precipitation. Okay, that we feel right now as of this moment. Ano, pag sinabi naman nating climate, long term naman yun. Okay. So, ano naman ang sinasabi nating long term? Pag sinabi nating climate, it describes the long-term pattern of weather in a region or a specific place. Okay, hindi ito nakabase sa isang araw lamang or like sa isang linggo or isang buwan. Okay, pag sinabi natin climate, yung climate is observed not in a short period of time. Okay, ino-observe ito like for example 30 years or more. Okay, kaya kapag sinabing climate, the climate of the Philippines is tropical. Yun yung ating klima dito, tropical. Okay, ibig sabihin, ganito ang pangmatagalang kondisyon na nararanasan natin taon-taon. Hindi lang ngayong araw, tropical. Okay, may rainy season, may wet season, and dry season. Yung pinaka-climate natin, it's a long-term pattern na hindi nababago agad-agad. Okay, pag sinabi nating weather, it's a short term na pwede siyang mabago in an instant. Okay, pagkatapos ng an hour, puwedeng mabago. Okay, yung nangyayari nga natin sa atin ngayon, weather, iba-iba. Mamaya, biglang uulan, biglang iinit. Okay, kaya nga sabi ko sa mga bata, you have to be ready always na lagi dapat tayong may dalang payong. Kasi in an instant, kahit sobrang init, diga, sobrang init, bigla na lang bubuhos yung ulan. Okay, it's weird. Ano, pero anyway, hopefully naman is na familiarize or na clarify na natin yung word na weather and climate kasi hindi talaga siya pwedeng pagpalitin kasi they are a different words. Okay. Next. So for our first activity, when nature strikes, so understanding typhoon impacts. Okay, so objectives, students will analyze real-life situations by observing images and reports on Typhoon Yolanda. Okay, after Yolanda's aftermath and a sample weather flash report in order to recognize the effects of typhoons and importance of preparedness. Okay, and then instructions. Carefully observe the pictures of Typhoon Yolanda's aftermath that will be flashed on the screen. So second, answer the guide questions about the images based on what you see and understand. And for the third one, watch the sample weather flash report, then respond to the follow-up questions that will be provided. Okay, so ito yung Typhoon Yolanda. So ang ating mga bata ngayon is like grade 8. Sa pag tinatanong ko sila, kailan kayo pinanganak? 2012. Okay, so parang ganun sila pinanganak. Year 2012. So 2013 yung Typhoon Yolanda. So basically wala pa silang muang noon. So nung ako'y nagmamasteral, share ko lang ano. So nung ako'y nagmamasteral pa, may nagturo sa akin na professor na as a science teacher, pag tayo nagtuturo, like for example, eruption, typhoon, ang ibibigay dapat natin na sample is yung pinaka-recent or pinaka-na-experience ng bata para sila yung makarelate. Okay, like for example, eruption. Okay, so though na-experience ng mga prof natin na yung 1991 eruption ng Pinatubo, pwede pa rin naman natin siyang ibigay na sample. Pero hindi na makaka-relate doon yung mga bata kasi hindi naman nila na-experience yung taon na yun. So currently, pag eruption, possible ang bigay nating example is yung Mayon eruption recently, yung Taal. Okay, ito naman, pag typhoon, yung pinaka mga recent typhoon. Siguro kaya nilagay lang itong Typhoon Yolanda kasi it's one of the most devastating typhoon here in the Philippines. But after Yolanda, meron namang mga sumunod pang mga devastating typhoons. Ano? So anyway, ito yung nakalagay sa LSO. Sundin na lang natin. So after the storm, okay, stories of Yolanda's wake. Okay, so ayan, after the storm, stories of Yolanda's wake. Ayan, so tingnan natin ito. Ayan. So, Typhoon Yolanda, internationally known as Haiyan. Okay, that's the international name of Typhoon Yolanda. Okay, was one of the most devastating typhoons to ever hit the Philippines. Okay, as I remembered, ito ay nangyari po. It strikes or striking on November 8, 2013. And it left a trail of unimaginable destruction. Okay, the super typhoon claimed the lives of around 6,300 people, injured more than 28,000, and left over 1,000 missing. Okay, so the damage was estimated at approximately 95.5 billion pesos, or about 2.2 billion US dollar. Okay, so devastating communities, infrastructure, and livelihoods across the Visayas region. Okay, so yung pinaka-naapektuhan talaga dito during that time is, if I can still recall, is the Tacloban City. Talagang na-wipe out po talaga yung buong lugar. And ang daming namatay, ang daming nasirang mga okay, bahay at mga iba't ibang infrastruktura during this typhoon. Okay, hindi lang ito typhoon, super typhoon. Okay, so kapag tinitingnan natin yung mga larawan na nandyan, okay, at video ng Typhoon Yolanda, okay, makikita natin yung mga bahay talaga na natumba o lumipad. Okay, even yung mga puno na naputo na bumaliktad, kita din natin. Okay, malawak na pagbaha kasi nagkaroon ng malawak na pagbaha diyan kasi nagkaroon diyan ng storm surge. Okay, yung ating storm surge mga anak is yan yung napuproduce okay, ng isang tropical cyclone or ng isang bagyo na isang malaking alon na posibleng okay, umabot hanggang sa coastal region. Okay, para siyang tsunami pero ito po ang storm surge po is na-produce not because of earthquake, not because of volcanic eruption, but because of a tropical cyclone or bagyo. Okay. And aside from this one, okay, ano pa yung meron diyan? Mga kalsadang parang talagang dagat during the time. Mga libo-libong taong nawalan ng tirahan. At during the time, ang dami rin pong mga bangkay okay, na nakita after the aftermath of typhoon. Sobrang nakakaawa, nakakadurog ng puso. And imagine that during this typhoon, ang dami ring mga bansa na tumulong. Okay? Upang makabangon ang bansang Pilipinas. Okay. So, tandaan natin, Yolanda was fueled. Okay, Yolanda was fueled by extremely warm ocean water. Yun yung nag-drive para lalong lumakas ang Typhoon Yolanda because of the warm water. Okay, and then, yun yung nagbigay sa kanya ng extraordinary strength. Okay, talagang nakaabot siya sa super typhoon level. Yung sobrang lakas na hangin na kayang magpatumba na hindi lang puno, kundi yung mga bahay din. Okay, and then nakapag-produce ng storm surge. Yung sinabi ko sa inyo, ito yung pinaka-deadly. Hindi ito sadya ordinaryong baha. Ito ay bigla ang pagtaas ng tubig. Since sinabi ko nga, tubig dagat na parang mini tsunami. Okay, na tumatama talaga or tumama sa buong Tacloban. Okay, at iba pang coastal areas. Okay, and then aside from that, yung ating Typhoon Yolanda nag-produce din ng heavy rainfall. Okay, na nag-cause din, okay, ng flood. Okay, or nagpabagsak sa mga daanan sa mga komunidad. And then, yung low level of preparedness during that time na observed din. Kaya ang daming casualties is because of low level of preparedness. Maraming tao ang hindi agad nakalikas. Okay, dahil hindi nila alam or naiintindihan yung mga terminologies or yung mga hazards na posibleng dulot ng isang bagyo, which is basically yung storm surge. Ano? Okay, next. So how do the images or video clips illustrate the events occurring and what underlying factors, okay, underlying factors do you believe are causing these events? Ano kaya yung underlying diyan? Okay, nabanggit ko na lahat. Ano yung how do the images or video clips illustrate the events occurring? Talagang devastating. Ano yung mga factors na nakapagpa-apekto? Yung low level of preparedness. O yun yung mga nabanggit ko. Okay, and then dahil super typhoon nga yung tumama sa buong Tacloban, okay, talagang hindi nila inaasahan yung like mga storm surge, okay, na dumating ano. So the images show the massive destruction after Typhoon Yolanda. Damaged homes, floods, and displaced people. And of course, these events were caused by Yolanda's strong winds, storm surge, and lack of preparedness. Yun yung aking nabanggit din. Ano? Okay, next. Sige. So, ito po yung video natin. Dapat mapanood ninyo to. Okay, before answering the next question. So, sa next question natin, why do typhoons form in the Pacific Ocean or often hit the Philippines? And what does this mean for the country? Okay, no, kadalasan talaga tayo na tinatamaan ng bagyo. Kadalasan nabubuo yung bagyo sa Pacific Ocean. So, typhoons from the Pacific often hit the Philippines because it lies along the warm water. Warm water talaga kasi yun nandyan. At yun yung pinaka-ideal or pinaka good conditions para mabuo yung isang typhoon where storms form, meaning the country is very prone to disasters. Okay, so tandaan natin, the Philippines is located beside the Northwest Pacific Ocean. Okay, and it is the most active region for tropical cyclone. Ito yung isa sa mga aktibong region o rehiyon para mabuo yung isang tropical cyclones dito sa planet Earth. Okay, so the Pacific Ocean is like a giant, yung ating kasing Pacific Ocean is like a giant energy. Okay, giant energy generator. Kasi it is very warm. Okay, at nandoon nangyayari yung evaporation level na mataas, which is non-stop. And aside from that, it produces constant thunderstorms in that area. Okay, so doon yung mga condition perfect for typhoon formation. Doon nagsisimula halos lahat ng bagyo. Okay, at dahil nga ang Pilipinas ay nasa mismong pathway, okay, pathway ng mga bagyong ito, natural na parati tayong tinatamaan. Kasi talagang salubong natin yung pathway. Okay. So, aside from that, idadagdag pa natin, nasa gilid din tayo ng ITCZ or Intertropical Convergence Zone na na-discuss natin in the previous topic, ano? Okay? Intertropical Convergence Zone na kung saan yung area na yon nandun nag-met or nagko-converge yung north and southern winds. Okay, di ba? Okay, na pag nag-meet yon, okay, nagiging ideal yon para sa isang bagyo para mabuo. Okay. Next, how does being the center of Typhoon Alley or Typhoon Belt affect typhoon's number and strength in the Philippines? Okay, sabi diyan, being in the Typhoon Belt makes the Philippines experience many typhoons each year, often strong and destructive. Okay, so tanda natin, the Philippines, sabi ko nga, lies in the Typhoon Alley or daanan pathway kasi nakasalubong natin yung daanan ng mga bagyo na nabubuo sa Northwest Pacific. Okay, so Typhoon Alley tayo which produces some of the world's strongest storms. Okay, because of this, tanda natin, around 20 typhoons enter the PAR or the Philippine Area of Responsibility every year. Okay, and then about doon 8 to 9, okay, of this make a landfall. Imagine that from 20, okay, 8 to 9, okay, can make a perfect landfall. So talagang destructive talaga to, no? Several are strong, okay, or even super typhoon level. Yung iba ay umabot sa super typhoon level. Like, di ba, yung Typhoon Uwan nga na yan, ang pinaka-recent. So, being in this belt means the Philippines must be highly prepared. Dapat lagi tayong prepared kung nandito tayo sa belt na yan. Daanan ng mga bagyo. Well-informed, especially sa mga news na pinapadala ng or binabalita sa TV. And equipped. Dapat equipped tayo with early warning systems. But many communities remain vulnerable, which turns natural hazards into disasters. May iba pa rin mga komunidad na vulnerable because of lack of support, okay, sa ating government. Okay, kasi syempre budget din yan. Okay, and then vulnerable yung ibang community kasi yung mga bahay is hindi naman typhoon resistant na gawa. Magawa lamang sa kahoy or kung ano man. 'Di ba? Prone ang ating bansa sa pagbaha. So basically talaga ang dami nating dapat paghandaan, ano. So i-share ko lang yung aming bahay sa Romblon since ang Romblon din is one of the prone din yung area na yun sa typhoon, daanan ng typhoon. Yung bahay namin doon is yung bubong niya is typhoon resistant, yung pinagawa namin. Though yero siya, pero ayaw kasi ng mother ko na ipa-flat roofing yung bahay namin. Gusto pa rin niya is may yero. So ang ginawa namin, yung nasa gitna yung yero tapos parang may mga bakod sa gilid na semento na para hindi siya maano ng wind show ng typhoon. Okay, na-share ko lang. Okay, next. So for our activity number 2, storm words building our typhoon vocabulary. For the objectives, students will identify, understand, and use key vocabulary words related to typhoons to enhance their comprehension of the topic. Okay, and then look at the vocabulary words, okay, about typhoons that will be shown on the screen. Match each word with its correct meaning or description. And then use the words in short sentences or answer guide questions to show your understanding. Okay, so sige. It has a wind speed of 118 to 184 kilometer per hour, a significant to severe threat, okay, to life and property. What's this? Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay, it's typhoon. Okay, it's typhoon. Tandaan natin. Next, this part of typhoon is around the eye. It has the strongest winds and rains. The winds may blow 200 miles per hour. Ito daw ay part ng typhoon. Ano kaya yan? Anong part siya ng typhoon? Tingnan natin. It's eye wall. Tandaan, eye wall is one of the deadliest part of a typhoon. Okay, kasi nandyan sobrang lakas ng hangin dyan sa part na yan. Okay, didiscuss natin yan in a thorough manner later. Next, temporary rise in sea level along the coast caused by strong winds and low atmospheric pressure. associated with a tropical cyclone leading to flooding of coastal areas. Okay, it's ano kaya siya? Correct, storm surge. Okay, ito yung sudden rise of sea level na parang mini tsunami pero siya ay brought by typhoon. Next, the center part of the storm, which is the calm part. Center part. Ano kaya yung center part of the typhoon? Correct. It's eye. Okay, or the eye. Ayan. So, matching type tayo. Ito yung mga tropical cyclone categories. Okay, ito yung mga categories ng typhoon. Okay, or levels. Okay, bago siya dumating sa pagiging super typhoon. Okay, first one muna, category is tropical depression or TD. Okay, ano kaya siya? I-match natin yung definition. It's letter B, with maximum sustained winds of up to 61 kilometer per hour. Mahina pa yan. Okay, it's tropical depression pa lang. Namumuong sama ng loob. Sama ng loob. Sama ng panahon sa Pacific Ocean. Okay, yan yung namumuong sama. Tropical, sama ng panahon. Tropical depression. Okay, mahina pa yan. Pero pag yan ay lumakas ng konti, okay, pwede siyang maging tropical storm with a maximum sustained wind speed of 62 to 88 kilometer per hour. And then, lumakas pa. Okay, pwede siya maging severe tropical storm with a maximum sustained winds of 89 to 117 kilometer per hour. And then, magpas doon sa 117 kilometer per hour yung hangin. Okay, doon natin siya pwedeng considered as typhoon na with a maximum sustained winds of 118 to 184 kilometer per hour. Pero pag lumampas doon, yung kanyang hangin or wind speed, tatawagin natin siyang super typhoon with a maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometer per hour or higher. And it is according to Pag-asa. Okay, Pag-asa po yung nag-release dito, yung current. Next, so why is it important to classify tropical cyclones in different categories like what we did here? Bakit kailangan natin silang i-categorize? Okay, kung gaano ba kalakas yung hangin para masabi natin tropical depression, storm, severe tropical storm, typhoon, or super typhoon. Bakit natin sila kinaka-categorize? Okay, what do you think is the um, reason? Okay, so here, to know their strength and prepare properly. Okay, so kailangan natin silang i-categorize para malaman natin kung ano yung mga dapat natin gawin. Ay, sa Typhoon O1, nalaman agad natin na possible it will become a super typhoon. So, marami yung nakapag-prepare pero yung impact pa din kasi sobrang lakas niya is hindi pa rin natin na iwasan. Ano? Okay, pero syempre na lesson. Okay, kasi at least, okay, kaya nakakategorize ng Pag-asa yung mga ganyan, yung lakas ng isang tropical cyclone, okay, para tayo ay makapag-prepare. Okay, and then, so by classification then of the tropical cyclones, it can help scientists or government and even the citizens to, okay, to know how strong the winds are, kung gaano siya kalakas, kung how destructive the storm can be, okay, or kung ano ba yung what kind of possible damage is expected in the community, kung ano pa, and what preparation, yung sinabi ko, ano yung preparation na dapat nating gawin, okay, habang wala pa yung mga ganyang kalamidad. Ano? So, a super typhoon, tanda natin, doon sa ating categories, a super typhoon is the most dangerous because the winds can destroy even the strong buildings or infrastructure. Okay, kaya niyang patumbahin yun. It brings intense rain. Okay, nagdadala ng intense rain, massive storm surge, okay, and catastrophic damages. Okay, so which category of tropical cyclone is the most dangerous and why? Yun na nga, yung ating super typhoon. Yun yung pinaka-dangerous. Ano? Okay. Next. So let's, in our next activity, activity number 3, the birth of a typhoon. So for the objective, students will understand how a typhoon forms by observing an animated presentation and demonstrate comprehension by answering guide questions. So number 1, instruction. Watch or listen carefully as the teacher present the animated structure showing how a typhoon develops. Number 2, take note of the important stages and processes discussed during the presentation. And number 3, answer the guide questions based on the animation and discussion. Okay, so nung previous lesson natin sa week number 4, diniscuss natin yung conditions. Ano ba yung mga condition or factors para mabuo yung isang bagyo? Dito naman, birth. Paano ba nagkakaroon ng birth of a typhoon? So, typhoon begin over warm ocean waters. Yun yung isa sa mga conditions where heat and moisture rise into the atmosphere. Okay. So, as the air rises, it cools and forms clouds. Okay. While warm air rushes into take its place. This continuous cycle creates strong winds and heavy clouds, giving birth to a typhoon. Okay, tandaan natin. So tandaan natin, a typhoon begins as simple cluster of thunderstorms over warm seas. Tandaan, no? Typhoon begins over a simple thunderstorms lamang. Okay, pero dapat over warm seas. Okay, ito yung mga stages. Okay, so una muna, thunderstorm development. Okay. So tropical thunderstorms serve as the initial stage for the formation of typhoons. Okay. As they harness moisture from the ocean through the force of strong winds. Okay. Yan yung pinakauna. Thunderstorm development. Okay. So small storms combine their energy. They pull moisture from the ocean. Okay. And if conditions are right, they start forming low pressure area. Okay? Nagkakaroon tayo ng low pressure area that nagli-lead. Pag nagkaroon tayo ng low pressure area, nagkaka-create na tayo ng mga bands of clouds. Okay? That will lead in the formation of thunderstorms. Okay? And then after this one, stage 2, evaporation and moisture rise. Okay? So the moisture turned into heat. Okay, by the thunderstorms draws more air to the storm center leading to evaporation. Okay, dito sa stage 2 natin, okay, sabi dyan, yung warm water evaporates, and yung moist air nagra-rise and cools. Pag nag-rise sila, it will cool and it will release heat. Okay, so this heat feeds the storm. Parang yung heat na na-produce, it will fuel, para siyang fuel. Okay? Uh, Fuel the storm. Para siyang gasoline na parang um, yun yung finifeed natin sa fire para lalong lumakas yung fire. Okay, sa bagyo naman, yung heat, yung pinaka-fuel niya. So as more air rises, more air rushes in, creating strong winds. Okay. And for the third stage, eye formation. Okay, so heat and air flow towards the eye, forming the typhoon. Okay, ayan na, tuloy-tuloy na. So dito sa atin, okay, if the winds spin fast, okay, if the winds spin fast, okay, fast enough, and the pressure drops further, talagang bumaba pala yung pressure, a calm center forms. Ayan, makakabuo na tayo dyan ng, okay, center. This means that the storm is becoming well organized. Okay, nag-spin na siya. Ano naman yung ating stage 4 para ma-complete yung process? It's the Coriolis effect. Dito, nag-spin na. Nagiging organized na, nagiging visible na yung center, which is the eye, okay, ng typhoon. Nagiging visible na yung center. Pero yung condition natin, how can typhoon sustain? Okay, paano niya masusustain yung pag-ikot na yan? Okay, ano yung kailangan niya para hindi tumigil, para lalong maging buo yung center niya. It's the fourth stage. Okay? The Coriolis effect. So the Earth's rotation causes the storm to start spinning. Talagang para mag-spin, umikot ng umikot yung storm natin or yung typhoon, kailangan ng Coriolis effect. So ano ba yung Coriolis effect? Okay. Ano yung nagiging dahilan ng ating ng Coriolis effect sa bagyo or ano yung naging epekto. Tandaan natin mga anak, ang ating mundo ay umiikot in its axis or it rotates on its axis na nagkakos ng 20 day and night rotation. Okay, so syempre gumagalaw yung ating planet habang gumagalaw siya. Anong nangyayari? Pag gumagalaw yung ating planet, instead na yung travel ng wind is in straight path, okay, in straight path, let's say north to south, dapat ganun yung travel ng wind, eh nadi-disrupt yung direction ng wind because of this movement of our planet. Na habang umiikot siya, yung ating planet, okay, kumbaga parang naiiba yung direction, nag-i-spin, pinapaspin niya yung travel ng wind. Okay. Dapat kasi may animation ako. Manood kayo mga anak sa YouTube ng Coriolis effect na yan. Okay, so Ayan. So, yung pinaka-reason kaya nasusustain ng isang bagyo yung pag-ikot niya is because of Coriolis effect. Tandaan natin, because the Earth rotates, okay, the system begins to spin. Okay, in the northern hemisphere, it spins counterclockwise without the Coriolis, sabi ko nga, without the Coriolis effect, the system would collapse. Okay, no spin or no typhoon. Pag walang Coriolis effect, hindi mag-spin or walang spinning na mangyayari. So, definitely hindi ma-form yung typhoon. Tandaan natin yung apat na stages, ha? Okay. So, why are tropical thunderstorms considered the first stage in the birth of typhoon? Bakit kaya? Answer, they supply heat. Yun yung pinaka-reason natin kanina. No? They supply heat and moisture. Okay. Next, what happens when evaporation and moisture rise in the storm center? Okay, more air is drawn in and it can form clouds. Okay, di kapag nagkakaroon ng daming evaporation, okay, nagra-rise yung ating water or nagkakaroon ng yung mga molecules tumataas or nag-evaporate. Okay, ano yung mapo-form? It will form several clouds na possible. It will lead to the formation of thunderstorms. Okay. Next, how does the Coriolis effect help complete the birth of a typhoon? It makes the system spin. Okay. Ito yung nagiging reason kung bakit nag-spin or umiikot yung bagyo. Kaya nasusustain niya yung eye or yung pinaka-center niya. Okay. So fill in the blanks. Tropical cyclones are the major weather disturbances and are considered one of the most destructive natural disasters. Oceans and seas have a great influence in the weather of continental masses. A large portion of the solar energy reaching the sea surface is expended in the process of evaporation. Water evaporated from the sea or ocean is carried up into atmosphere and condenses, forming clouds from which all forms of precipitation result. Sometimes intense cyclonic circulation occur, which is what we call the tropical cyclones. Okay, according to Pag-asa. Ayan. So, sige. Follow-up questions. What essential conditions, okay, must be present for a typhoon to form? Ano yung pinaka-conditions natin? Okay, para, okay, must be present for a typhoon to form? Yes, warm ocean water. Yan yung pinakakailangan. Pag wala yan, hindi makakabuo ng bagyo. Moist air. Okay. And the Coriolis effect. Pinaka importante talaga is yung warm water and the Coriolis effect na without these factors, walang bagyo. Next, in what ways does warm ocean water aid in the development of a typhoon? Okay, it provides heat and moisture that fuel that storm. Ano daw yung pinaka ano ng warm water or warm ocean water sa development ng typhoon? Kasi siya yung pinaka generator, energy generator. Pag walang warm water, walang bagyo. At alam niyo ba mga anak na ang bagyo mas lumalakas siya pag nasa tubig siya. Okay? At pag siya ay nasa lupa na, humihina siya. Okay, kasi ang pinaka-source ng bagyo is yung ng energy ng isang bagyo is tubig. Pero hindi lang basta tubig. Kailangan warm water. Kaya pansinin nyo sa polar regions, walang bagyo kasi malamig yung tubig doon. Kaya walang nabubuong bagyo. Kasi ang bagyo nabubuo lamang sa warm ocean water. Okay, next. Can you explain the stages of typhoon from its initial formation to its mature state? Okay, it starts as thunderstorms, develops into low pressure area, strengthen into a cyclone, and matures with an eye. Talagang nagsisimula sa thunderstorms. Okay, next. Ayan. So, typhoons, cyclones, and hurricanes. One storm, different names. So, students will learn how typhoons form and distinguish between typhoons, cyclones, and hurricanes by watching a video engaging in discussion and answering a short true or false activity. Watch the video presentation and the formation of typhoon attentively. Join the discussion on the main difference between a typhoon, cyclone, and hurricane. Complete the short true or false activity to check your understanding of the lesson. Ayan, so hopefully mapanood natin to. Ayan, typhoons form when warm ocean water or moist air and atmospheric instability combined and start rotating. They are essentially the same type of storm but called by different names depending on the region. Okay, na-discuss naman natin na to. Typhoon in the Northwest Pacific is known typhoon is known in Northwest Pacific, hurricane in the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific, at ang tawag naman is cyclone in the Indian Ocean and South Pacific. So the Intertropical Convergence Zone or ITCZ plays a crucial role as it is the area where trade winds meet, causing air to rise and converge, which helps initiate thunderstorms and low pressure systems that may develop into typhoons. The key ingredients to the birth of a typhoon are a warm sea, moisture air, rising air instability, and the Coriolis effect. Tatandaan lang natin yung mga factors kay sa birth ng typhoon. Warm, sea surface. Okay. Okay, moisture in the air and Coriolis effect. Ayan. So, sige, true or false tayo dito. Ayan. Typhoons, hurricanes, and cyclones are the same type of storm but are named differently depending on the region. Is it true or false? Correct. It's true. Ano, iba't iba yung tawag depending on saan siya na-form. Next, the Intertropical Convergence Zone, okay, or the ITCZ helps in typhoon formation by causing air to sink and spread apart. Okay, is it true or false? Okay, it's false. Ano, hindi nagsisink? Ano, ITCZ causes air to sink? No. The ITCZ results in rising of air, not sinking air. Tatandaan natin. So, the rising motion creates thunderstorms, which is the prime ingredients for tropical cyclone. Okay. Next, warm ocean water provides the energy needed for typhoons to develop. Okay, it's true. Okay, yung pinaka-isa sa ingredients. Ano, next, kasi the warm ocean, 'di ba? It fuels typhoon. So, next, the Coriolis effect is necessary for the rotation of a developing typhoon. Is it true or false? Correct, it's true. So, yung Coriolis effect natin, it gives typhoon its spin. So, without Earth's rotation, the system would stay disorganized or collapse. Walang mabubuong bagyo. Moist air and rising air are key ingredients in the birth of a typhoon. True, ano. So, yung moisture natin forms the clouds. Okay, when the air rises, it creates the low pressure center. Okay, and both are required to keep the storm alive. Okay, so sige. Inside the storm, knowing the parts of a typhoon. Ito naman, yung mga parts ng typhoon. Atin namang i-discuss yung different parts of typhoon. Okay, so objective students will identify and describe the different parts of typhoon through discussion and apply their knowledge in a short identification activity. So for the instruction, listen carefully as we discuss the different parts of a typhoon and their function. Observe the diagrams and explanations shown during the discussion. Okay, and answer the short identification activity to test your understanding of the parts of a typhoon. Okay, next. So parts of a typhoon. Ayan. So a typhoon is a powerful storm system with distinct structures that make it unique. To better understand how it works, we need to look at its main parts. Ito yung mga parts. The calm part, it's the eye. The intense part, the eye wall. And the spiraling, the rain dance. Each of these parts plays an important role in the strength and impact of a typhoon. Okay, so sige. So first part of the typhoon is the eye. Okay, ito yung ating, this is the center, pinaka-sentro, yung pinaka-gitna, ayan. Okay, it is the calm part of the storm. Kalmado daw. Calm part. Walang hangin dyan, ano, or napaka-kalmado lang. Kalma. Okay. And yung wind speed and air pressure, calm winds, typically under 15, okay, miles per hour, and the lowest air pressure in the typhoon. Okay, location, the center of the typhoon. Okay, so yan po yung ating, tandaan natin ha. Tandaan yung center of storm, calm winds, lowest pressure. Pero delikado yung paligid niyan. Kasi ang sunod ay eye wall. It has the strongest winds. Dito mga anak, yung bibilugan ka. Strongest winds and rains. The winds may blow 200 miles per hour. Okay, the highest wind speeds often exceeding 150 miles per hour. Okay, very low air pressure, slightly higher than the eye. Okay, location surrounds the eye. It surrounds the eye. Tandaan, pag eye wall surrounds the eye, strongest winds and heaviest rains. And tandaan, it's the most dangerous part of typhoon. Next, inner rain bands. Ito naman mga anak. Moderate to high wind speeds. Okay. They bring moderate intermittent, okay, rain and winds of 63 to 117 kilometer per hour, lower air pressure than outer bands, but higher than the eye wall. Location between the eye wall, okay, and outer bands. Tandaan natin pag inner rain bands, rotating bands of clouds, moderate lang yung winds. Moderate to strong yung winds. And intermittent heavy rain. Okay. And then, outer rain bands. Ito naman yung pinakadulo. Ayan na. Heavy squalls lasting up to 5 minutes occur every 3 to 6 hours with 50% cloud cover allowing some sunlight. So it features occasional light to moderate rainfall with winds of up to 62 km per hour, gradually, okay, increasing air pressure. And location naman ito, outer edges of the typhoon. Tandaan natin pag outer rain bands, outermost part, light to moderate yung rains, and yung winds is gradually weakened kasi napakalayo na nito, farther from the center. Okay. So, identification tayo dito. Mag-identification tayo. It is the calm part or center of the typhoon where lowest air pressure is found. Correct. It's the eye. This part surrounds the eye and contains the strongest winds, often exceeding 150 miles per hour. Correct. It's eye wall. Found between the eye wall and outer bands. It has moderate to high wind speeds and lower air pressure than the outer bands. Correct. Inner rain bands. So these are the outer edges of the typhoon where wind speeds decrease as distance from the center increases. Correct. Outer rain bands. This part of the typhoon has very low air pressure, slightly higher than the eye. Correct. It's eye wall. Okay. So, sige. So, punta na naman tayo. So, what shapes a typhoon? What shapes a typhoon? So, for the objectives, students will understand how land masses and bodies of water affect the strength and movement of a typhoon and demonstrate comprehension through a fact or a bluff activity. So, for the instructions, okay, listen carefully as we discuss how land masses and bodies of water influence typhoons. Pay attention to the examples and illustrations shown during the discussion. And then join the fact or bluff activity by deciding whether each statement is correct or incorrect. So, factors affecting formation of typhoon. So, first is effects of land masses on typhoons. Ano ba yung epekto ng land masses? So, itong ating land masses, mga anak, is very important. Okay, especially sa atin because it weakens the typhoon. Ano daw? It weakens, pinapahina ng mga land masses. Ano ba yung mga land masses? Hindi kalupaan. Ano, pinapahina ng mga land masses ang isang bagyo. Kasi 'di ba pag naglandfall, okay, pag nandito na sa lupa yung bagyo, naglandfall na 'yan, malayo na siya sa tubig. Ang sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, ang source ng energy ng bagyo ay tubig or warm water. Pag malayo siya sa tubig, saan siya kukuha ng energy? So possible mag-weaken siya. Okay, yung may mga instances, mawala siya or mabura na. Okay, yung bagyo. Okay, kasi lumayo siya sa energy source. Kaya mahalaga mga anak ang Sierra Madre sa atin. Kasi it helps to weaken, okay, typhoons. Pinapahina niya. Okay, so sige, true fact or a bluff. Effects of land masses and typhoons. Land masses weaken typhoons because they have less water vapor compared to oceans. Is it fact or a bluff? Correct. It's a fact. Pinapahina ng land masses ang isang bagyo. Mountain ranges can increase the strength of a typhoons by speeding up the wind. Pinapa-increase ba niya ang strength ng typhoon? It's a bluff. Instead, papahinain nga niya, di ka? Next, orographic lifting can weaken the impact of a typhoon in an area. Okay, it's a fact. Okay, ano bang ibig sabihin niyan? So, orographic lifting weakens the impact of a typhoon. Kasi nga, when winds or yung wind natin, when it hits mountains, yung air rises quickly and drops most of its moisture on windward side. Okay, so it will weaken, okay, the storm further. Okay, next, cold air on top of mountains prevents the building of typhoons, which need warmer air. Is it true or false? Okay, it's a fact. But then, ano, so typhoons need warm, okay, moist air. Cold air weakens the energy source. Okay, so yung sa ating mountains, sa mga taas ng bundok, malamig ang klima. So definitely, it will help to weaken typhoons. Okay, next. The lee side of a mountain usually becomes wetter and more prone to typhoons. Are you sure? It's false ano. Okay? Or bluff rather. Okay, bakit? The leeward or yung lee side of the mountain, yung ating the leeward side usually stays dry. Dry yun because the mountain blocks moisture. Okay. Next. So, another, we have second factors na nakakaapekto sa bagyo is effects of bodies of water on water. Okay, effects of bodies on water. Bodies of water. Other. Bodies on water. Bodies, effects of bodies of water. Ayan. Ayan. So, ano naman yung epekto ng bodies of water sa bagyo? Okay, kung ang land masses pinapahina niya, ang tubig naman ay pinapalakas niya ang isang bagyo, especially kung yan ay warm water. Okay, so sige. Bodies of water provides the water necessary for evaporation to produce warm, moist air that fuels a typhoon. Correct, it's a fact. Yung ating bodies of water, siya yung nagpo-provide ng water vapor. Okay, para makapag-produce ng moist air. Okay, na magiging fuel ng isang bagyo. Okay. These bodies of water determine the humidity and temperature which are important in the formation of typhoons. It's a fact pa din ano. Okay. So, the typhoons, okay, sabi dyan, no? The factors determine what the fact these factors determine whether storm can be formed. Okay. So, talaga ang magde-decide. These bodies of water determine the humid and temperature which are important in the formation of typhoons. Kung wala yung mga factors na yan, okay, possible is yung bagyo is hindi mabuo. Okay, next. Bodies of water like oceans weaken a typhoon. Okay, bodies of water like oceans can weaken a typhoon. It's a bluff. Okay, hindi nga niya pinapawik eh. Pinapalakas pa nga lalo niya, di ba? Okay, kasi nga, warm oceans strengthen them. Only cold water weakens the storm. Meron pa din naman, pwede niyang pahinain, kaso nga lang dapat malamig yung tubig. Pero kung yan ay warm, nako, like Pacific Ocean, lalakas pa lalo yung bagyo. Okay, the abundant amount of water needed by typhoon is absent from land masses. Okay, it's fact. Ano? So, kasi nga, saan ba ang water? Di sa tubig na wala namang masyadong tubig sa land masses. Okay. And warm bodies of water are the main factors in the formation of typhoons. Correct. Ano, napaka-basic na yan. So, let's proceed on the formative assessment. Hopefully, you are ready. So, choose the letter of your answer. Which of the following factors contributes most significantly to the formation and intensification of typhoons? It's letter, correct. It's letter C. Okay. Ocean surface temperature. Okay, yan yung pinaka-factors na nagko-contribute in the intensification of a tropical cyclone or a typhoon. Okay, so sabi diyan, 'di ba? Okay, yan yung main driver ng typhoons eh. Okay, yung init mula sa dagat, kapag mainit ang surface ng ocean, mas mabilis yung pag-evaporate. And then, mas marami yung moist air na umaakyat. So, ito yung parang nagsisilbing fuel ng bagyo. Okay, yung mas mainit ang tubig, mas malakas yung energy supply na pwedeng ma-produce at makapag-intensify sa bagyo. So, why are coastal areas more vulnerable to the impacts of typhoons compared to inland regions? Bakit yung mga coastal areas or tabing dagat yung pinaka-vulnerable? Siyempre. Okay, it's letter B, ano? Coastal areas experience stronger storm surges. Okay, so diyan sila ay mas vulnerable yung ating coastal areas kasi dahil sila yung unang tinatamaan eh. Kumbaga sila yung frontliner natin. Okay, sila yung unang tinatamaan ng storm surge na isang biglaang yung pagtaas ng seawater. Okay, na tinutulak ng, syempre, paano nagkaroon ng malakas na level ng seawater, tinulak ng malakas na hangin, dulot ng bagyo. Okay, kahit moderate lang yung ulan, kung merong storm surge tayong ma-experience, magdudulot pa rin ito ng severe flooding. Okay, na nangyari din nga sa Tacloban na pwedeng mag-cause ng pag-collapse ng mga structures and then mabilis na pagtaas ng tubig. Okay, so hindi na yan nararanasan ng mga inland o yung nasa mga center na area ng isang landmass kung super layo na naman talaga sa coastal area. So how do warm ocean waters contribute to the formation and intensification of typhoons? Correct. That is letter C. They provide energy for evaporation and condensation. Okay. So kasi nga yung warm ocean water, kaya yun yung nagpapagana ng typhoon. Kapag umiinit ang tubig, mas marami yung water vapor na, okay, na umaakyat or nabubuo. So kapag umakyat at nag-condense ang water vapor, syempre naglalabas ito ng heat energy. Okay, na siya yung magpapalakas dun sa typhoon, sa circulation ng typhoon. Ito ang nagiging dahilan rin kung bakit siya tuloy-tuloy yung paglaki niya at pag-ikot. Kaya nga pag mas malapit yung bagyo sa tubig or nasa tubig, mas malakas siya. Okay. Number 4. What role do land masses play in influencing the path of a typhoon? Okay, it's letter D. Land masses deflect the direction of typhoon movement. Okay. So, yung malaking land masses in the Philippines, yung Luzon. Okay. Like for example, another is Taiwan, tinatamaan din niya ng bagyo. Japan, okay? And kaya niyang mabago yung direksyon ng isang bagyo. Siyempre dahil may mga bundok or may mga land masses or may mga uneven surfaces sa lupa, siyempre naaapektuhan yung pressure pattern and wind flow ng bagyo. Kaya minsan, kumakabig pa kaliwa, pa kanan yung bagyo. Okay? Kaya tinatawag natin itong yung pagkabig pa kaliwa, pa kanan ng isang bagyo, tinatawag natin minsan itong steering effect ng isang landforms or effect ng landforms sa mga bagyo. Okay, last, we have, what is the primary reason why typhoons tend to weaken as they move over land? Ano yung pinaka-reason? It's letter A, decreased moisture availability. Okay, so yung pinaka-reason dyan, pag tumama na sa lupa yung mga bagyo or yung bagyo, nawawala sila, nawawala yung source, okay, nila ng init at moisture na makukuha lang nila sa warm ocean. Okay, wala nang maraming tubig para mag-evaporate kasi nandun na sila sa lupa. Okay, kaya unti-unting humihina yung bagyo. Okay, and yung in addition for that, mas mataas ang friction sa landi kaya bumabagal at nababawasan yung circulation or yung circulation or pag-ikot ng hangin. Okay, so hopefully marami tayong natutunan ngayong araw. Thank you so much everyone, grade 8. Okay, have a nice day.